As soon as he did that, he said, I'm not doing nothing. I ain't got nothing on me. I ain't got nothing. The cops started chasing him. He didn't have nothing in his hands. And he got beat up by the cops. And there was a lot of cops there. And they didn't care. And there's people that got videotape of this. I was sat there to witness all of this happen. And that's not right. None of that's right for one person, hey, to get treated like that. You know, hey, I can understand if they call the cops and they come to detain this person, but to sit there and still hit him while he's on the ground and in handcuffs is not right. That is not good. That's why we are afraid of you guys. That's why we don't want you guys to, hey, we're scared of you guys when you guys come around because of this type of brutality that you guys do. And you guys take your force and you use it to hurt people, and it's all right for you guys to do it. And you guys justify it by saying, whatever. I watched this guy, he was being handcuffed, hands behind his back, and was getting beat up by the sergeant. And that's all I gotta say. I'll keep it short for you guys. And I'll walk right there on you.
One of the things I would like to say is that, you know, I'm not going to defend any bad action that happens on the part of the police. My job is to hold police officers accountable when they do things.
We'll write it, Mom.
There's nobody that dislikes bad cops.
We understand that they're not accepting. Your uncle was here. They turned him away at the fucking door.
There's some good police officers out there who are in the business for the right reason, and they understand that it's their job to provide service to the community. And those police officers all get painted with a broad brush, which isn't fair when the bad police officers make mistakes or do things that are absolutely wrong. We now, because we're under a federal consent decree, and I know that Jay Hollingsworth sits on our Community Police Commission, we now have systems in place, formal systems in place, where people can go outside of police facilities. They're not located in police headquarters. It's independent, the Office of Professional Accountability, where you can go and make complaints. In fact,
you did that.
And they actually come over here, you know, independent of me or the police, and speak to you directly, the director there.
They don't.
Yes?
Thank you. My name is Joey Gray, and I was advocating for Mr. Wingate with my friend and ally Don Mason and hi there, Carmen. All of those systems failed. I'm a person who believed, even up until 2 years ago, falsely, that I could avoid the police, that I had a choice to avoid the police. And I saw that even under this consent decree, and even with all these systems, that Mr. Wingate was arrested and thrown in jail overnight for walking on the street while black. High up people in New York Department knew, the city attorney knew because I spoke with him myself. The federal monitor knew because at the meeting that Rick and Jay and others were at, everyone in the city who was at a pretty high level was well aware. I mean, not everyone, but lots of people, except for the OPA. So please, don't say that those systems are in place and that they're working. Because I'm one of those people who had been led to believe that and was shocked.
Well, I'd like to single out Chief Best, because Chief Best was the one who looked at that video and said something was wrong. And I
thank you for your work in returning that and making
an apology.
However, someone should have referred this case to OPA, and that never happened.
And you know, I'm really pleased you said that, because and again, we won't get into the tit for tat, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we have to make sure that things don't slip through the cracks. Now, in this instance, I know that is Don is the one who said, we don't want to go the OPA route, we want to go the procedural justice route. You know, we want Mr. Wingate treated with dignity. We want to make sure that you go to the city attorney and do whatever, you know, what has to be done there. So, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we discovered that we actually have a flaw in the system. We, you know, Carmen and I, you know, thought we were trying to do the right thing, working with John and others to restore, you know, his dignity and do the procedural justice route. In the end, maybe we should have also reported it to OPA, but we were told that Mr. Wingate was part of the OPA process, so we were trying to be respectful of that too. But you're right, in the future, we're just going to report it and then leave it up to the people who, you know, let them contact the people involved for them to make a decision. So you're right. I mean, there was a systemic problem in that instance, but at least, you know, I want to publicly, because I think some people have looked at Carmen and said, well, what did you do about it? She was the one who saw that tape and said, something is absolutely wrong here. We need to reach out. We need to work with Don Mason, with you, with others. We went to the city attorney's office, have the charges cleared, make sure that he has no, you know, supervision in the process, and again, you know, so, but it's a work in progress. And
the point is not about that case as much as that in saying that those systems are in place, it's not working.
Well, yeah, at least, I mean, and we need to improve, there's no question about it. At least this police department, actually, most police departments in this country right now have no accountability. They have no external accountability, no independent oversight. You know, at least we have structure. Do we still have systemic problems? Are we still trying to get it right? Are we still trying to get the bugs out of the system? Yes, and we're going to work with the Community Policing Commission. We're going to work with the OPA auditor. With the mayor's proposing legislation for additional accountability. So again, I'm the first one to acknowledge it's a work in progress. Our work is not done.
You know what?
How many officers have been fired as a result of complaints?
None.
I have no. I just arrived.
Nobody's been fired. Paid them.
I just fired
put
one
on
the other
leave
day.
with pay.
So, you know, again, what happens is the OPA does the investigation. It comes back to me with a recommendation. The OPA says this is what we recommend for penalty. And I can either accept the OPA's recommendation, or I can reject it, or I can make the penalty even more severe.
Have they ever recommended a firing, and did it happen?
They just recommended a firing a few weeks ago, and I affirmed that. It was not in the Wingate, it was something completely, unrelated.
I know there's a whole, two bad apples theory that I keep hearing surrounding some of the behaviors in the department. Are you planning on doing any communications?
Absolutely. I have no trouble. I'm telling you right now, I have no trouble holding people. They have to go through the process. It has to be investigated. You know, they're required to follow their due process, whatever it is. Some cases will be criminally prosecuted, and that's the decision of the King County prosecutor, the city attorney. But the OPA makes a recommendation to me whether to discipline somebody, whether to suspend them, whether to fire them, and then I have to make the final decision.
Would you support changes to the criminal statute that made criminal penalties more available in police shootings, killings? Right now, the standard of proof for a cop shooting someone is, basically first-degree murder. Right? You can't have, the circumstances that a civilian would be convicted of manslaughter for. It can't be applied to police officers. Would you support changes in the criminal statute for?
I have to say. I mean, you have to draft legislation. I have to see what you propose.
I'm happy to send you some, sure. Whatever you propose, the police follow the same law that everyone else does, and if they shoot someone, they're accountable to the same law. There's not a special statutory exemption for their. That's why I would see that.
Are you saying there is a special statute?
Yes, there is. There is. Yeah, not the state, yeah.
Only in Florida, has police charged for first-degree murder.
Yeah.